been such a big week for football in regards to just where we are in the league now. So obviously, the international break is out of the way. We've got a clear run now. So the last sort of 10 fixtures left of the season. So yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. We are about to get into it. Match day 31. These are all the midweek games. So we start off with St. James's Park. Ended Newcastle 1, Everton 1. I'm a little bit shocked by that result there, to be quite honest with you. I didn't actually see the game, but from my knowledge, obviously Newcastle are depleted with regards to the amount of injuries they've got. Everton are just useless. So I actually anticipated Newcastle to sort of snatch the points. Turns out that Everton had a little bit of fighting spirit about them and actually nicked a draw right at the death. It seems Calvert-Lewin with a penalty I saw. So a draw, maybe deserved. But again, haven't really seen the game, so can't really judge. But from the balance of play that I saw, it looked like it was a stalemate all round, pretty much similar in every single department. When it came to stats, Nottingham Forest 3, Fulham 1. That was from the City ground. Forest can do that to you at home. They can really do that to you. So I'm not surprised by the result. They are in decent form when it went at home, to be quite honest with you. Chris Wood is in the form of his life. He can't seem to stop scoring at the moment. Fulham just didn't really have an answer for it. Nuno Espirito Santo obviously is in a relegation dogfight with this Forest team, but I think they have about enough to secure staying in this league. As for Fulham, mid-table for them, another really good season from them and Marco Silva. I do think they need to invest a little bit in the summer, but they've got a good core group there, Fulham, and I think they should build on that come next season. Off to Turf Moor, Burnley versus Wolves. That was 1-1. Burnley still fighting for their lives down in the bottom three. Showing a bit more fighting spirit these past few weeks, to be fair. And I do have them down as a W, actually, this weekend, which we'll get into in a moment. Wolverhampton, a lot of injuries. Pretty much the same premise as Newcastle, just sort of getting by week in, week out. Are in no danger of getting relegated, but are in no danger of obviously sort of pulling up any trees when it comes to being in the top 10. But they will be in the Premier League next season. They've had, again, like Fulham, a really, really good season. Another team that's had a really decent season is Bournemouth. They've already accumulated the amount of points they needed with regards to staying in this league. They have a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace at the Vitality Stadium. Iraola's had a brilliant season since he's come into the Thor at Bournemouth. As for Palace, it's not really happening for Glasner at the moment. I know he's struggling with a few injuries as well, to be fair, to key players too, in key areas. So Michael Elise is one of those. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. Hamstring injury for him, as he's kind of in and out. So it's a strange one for him. He'll have a summer to kind of sort it out. But at this moment in time, Palace, not necessarily in free fall, but, you know, it's one of those where they don't have anything really to play for now. And you can kind of see the season is petering out for them at the moment. But a good win for Bournemouth nonetheless. And they've obviously maintained their stay in this league. And I think they jumped up above Crystal Palace actually with that win. West Ham won, Tottenham won. West Ham's cup final. Always seem to show up when it's us, to be quite honest with you. But even game. From the London Stadium, West Ham won, Tottenham won. Tottenham took the lead, Brennan Johnson within 4 minutes. Kurt Zouma with the equaliser just before half-time. Even game all round. I thought we could have been a bit more expansive with our style, to be fair. I think we're in that period where we're not clinical. We're not as clinical as we should be. We're not sort of, you know, when we get the opportunity to shoot, especially in and around the box, we're not taking that opportunity. We're trying to walk the ball into the net every single opportunity, which we can't do. Teams are going to sit back against us, so we need to figure out a way to combat it. Maddison hasn't really been the same since the injury. Bentancur still sort of coming back into his own as well. Basuma's form seems to have fallen off a cliff. I don't know what's happened to that guy. But yeah, it's something that will be resolved and obviously, you know, come back next season better for it. But as it stands at the moment, Spurs will not fall out of the top 5. I still think we're going to finish in the top 4 above Villa. And West Ham will probably have another season in the Europa League, because I do think they'll finish in the top 7 as well. So a decent draw for them. Decent draw for Spurs away at a tough London stadium as well. Brentford 0, Brighton 0. That was from the G-Tech. Not much to say about that. Nothing really happened in the scoreline. Both teams, again, not really fighting for much this season. Brighton already out of Europe. Brentford can't get into Europe. Little bit of a dull game, to be quite honest, it looked like. But yeah, another draw. None of these teams are going to be in a relegation dogfight. Brentford are kind of down there, but I don't see them going down. They are one of the sort of 6 that are in that sort of area of uncertainty at the moment. Brighton will calmly finish sort of mid-table, 9th, 10th. That kind of position in the league. Arsenal 2, Luton 0. That was from the Emirates Stadium. Luton again giving a really good account of themselves. Arsenal kind of strolled to victory on this one. Already had that draw for Manchester City the week before. But yeah, I thought Luton should have scored a couple at least. But Arsenal obviously showing why they are currently in a title running at the moment. Didn't really get out of second gear. Didn't really need to be honest. Just got the goals that they needed and killed off the game. Good game management, it looked like, from Arteta's boys. Yeah, good win for Arsenal. Keeps them in the run. Speaking of keeping them in the run, Manchester City 4, Aston Villa 1. And that's helped me dramatically, because Aston Villa's goals for and goals against was obviously more than ours. It's now below ours. So now it's all in our destiny again. So we just need to keep winning our games. If we do that, we're in the top 4. And that's why I think we'll do it. Because Aston Villa, I don't think, especially with Europe commitments as well, I don't think they're got a squad enough to do both. So I do think it's a bit of a tough one to take for them, because they've had a really, really good season. Even were touted as title challengers this season as well. And it just wasn't ever going to be that. But they've had a stellar season. Ollie Watkins has been brilliant, as has Leon Bailey. John McGinn's been quite decent also. No, really, really good from Villa. And I think they will finish 5th, just above Man United. Manchester City, I do still think they'll win the league. It'll be them or Liverpool. You can never count this City team out. They'll go on a mad run now. And not many teams can do that at this moment in time. And I just think Man City right now are still the team to beat. Speaking of teams to beat, Liverpool 3, Sheffield United 1. Again, I thought Sheffield United gave a really good account of themselves. A little bit about like Burnley, the last few weeks they've been getting, a couple of decent results. I mean, not the results they want, obviously, but they're not sort of losing games, but they get themselves into winning positions. They actually got a goal back when they were 1-0 down. Absolute disastrous first goal from the Sheffield United goalkeeper. Smashed the ball right into Darwin Núñez. It's cannon right back off and gone right into the back of the net. But Liverpool were just going to be Liverpool. They will chase City all the way with regards to this. Currently occupying the top of the league at the moment. And got a fanciful run as well, to be fair. And this is another reason why I do believe it will be a 1-2 Liverpool-Man City. And then Arsenal will probably finish 3rd. Final game, and probably the best game of midweek. Chelsea versus Man United. This was from Stamford Bridge. What a game. Cole Palmer hat-trick. His first hat-trick for Chelsea. First hat-trick in his career, actually, if I'm not mistaken. What a game, though. From start to finish. 2 teams that can't defend. It's a dream match. So you get chances after chance after chance after chance. And that's what happened. And pretty much Chelsea won the game within the dying seconds of extra time. I think extra time is 11 minutes. They scored in the 10th and the 11th minute of extra time. Man United absolutely gutted. I'm not going to sit here and say that Man United had a good account, made a good account of themselves, because they didn't. They took the chances presented to them and just couldn't defend. They're very good going forward, but they're equally as terrible, going back the other way. And teams do exploit every game. You can't tell me that you're going to be a top club and I think the last 4 or 5 games they've had 135 shots peppered at their goal. Where's the correlation? Defence is all over the place. Man United go to Liverpool this weekend. That's going to be another L for them. Chelsea were going to finish 9th, 10th anyway, so I thought the celebrations were a little bit too much. But a great game. Great advert for the Premier League. Probably one of the best games of the season, to be fair. 4-3 Chelsea winners. Cole Palmer absolutely cooking at the moment. So On to the Premier League today, match week 32. Prediction time. Crystal Palace, Manchester City is the first game of the day, 12:30 from Selhurst Park, and I'm going to go with a Manchester City 2-0 win there. Wolverhampton versus West Ham United, that's from Molyneux. I think a Wolverhampton win is overdue. West Ham not currently travelling well at the minute. I'm going to go with a Wolves win on that one. 2-1 there. Everton versus Burnley, Sean Dyche derby. Probably go with a draw on this one apiece on there. Everton can't buy one at the moment, and Burnley seems to be fighting a bit more each week and have scored in their last 3. Aston Villa versus Brentford, that is from Villa Park. Aston Villa decimated with injuries to key players at the moment. Brentford, very hot and cold at the moment. Aston Villa should have enough to beat them. I will go with an Aston Villa win 2-1. Fulham versus Newcastle, that is from Craven Cottage. Newcastle, again, another team that is literally decimated by injuries. And Fulham at home are very, very useful. I can't see anything other than a Fulham win here. We're going to go with a Fulham 2-1 win over Newcastle. Luton Town v Bournemouth. Again, what Luton Town are going to show up. They've been really good at home this season against all the bigger clubs. Against the smaller clubs, they have yet to put them away. Bournemouth are in decent form. Have actually made themselves safe, so they might take their foot off the gas. I see a Luton Town win here, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 win here also. Brighton versus Arsenal is a late kickoff tonight from the Amex. This one can go one of two ways. Brighton could either be really sensational and show up and get the result, or Arsenal will go there and blow them away. I'm going to go in the middle. I think that's going to be a Brighton 2-2 draw. Brighton-Arsenal 2-2. I think Arsenal concede today. They've been really decent, actually, this season with regards to their defence. But I just feel like this is one of those games, especially under the lights at the Amex. Brighton do like to play. Could be a tasty one, that one. 2-2 we're going to go with. Man United versus Liverpool. That is tomorrow. That is from Old Trafford. That is a 3:30 kickoff. Liverpool all day for me. I think Liverpool go there and win 3-0. Sheffield United versus Chelsea, that is the 5:30 kickoff. That is from Bramall Lane, and I'm going with the Chelsea 2-1 win there. And then the final game of the weekend sees my beloved Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This was a game that was moved from the Saturday to the Sunday. 6 o'clock kickoff. We host Nottingham Forest, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Tottenham. That's my roundup for the week. Next week, we start at St James's Park. That is Newcastle versus Tottenham, the 12:30 kickoff there. And I'll be back with a new video, hopefully on a Friday. Try to enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all the football. And I'll see you on the next one.